Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. Welcome to the GamerDad channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. So in one of my last videos, I talked about how, division agents sometimes will make our way to another platform and start the game all over again and grind. And sometimes it's out of boredom and, sometimes it's just out of curiosity. And in that video, I basically got, some comments from some of my audience members saying that they were moving on to playing the division on other platforms, and someone specifically said that they were going to be moving from PlayStation to PC. So I thought it was interesting, and I thought I'd make a video just to provide a few tidbits on making that transition, because if you move to PC, yes, you can play with your controller, but there are actually some really cool benefits that you enjoy using your mouse and keyboard. Now, some may say, well, is this, a matter of you just, getting better aim or whatever? Actually, it's a little more than that. There's some really cool things that you can get to enjoy in this game that I'll go ahead and show you. I don't know if I can show you as much as I would love to. And, honestly, they're not necessarily too much, but each individual one is actually quite key. So one really cool thing, if you're using a mouse and keyboard while playing the Division or the Division 2, you can pretty much keep your player while exploring the open world in a state of them just running free, around the world without you having to push the forward motion button. So while you're actually in a forward motion, it's basically your movement is basically A, S, W, D, forward, left to right, forward, backwards. But while you're moving and you start running, you hit shift, you can hit the X key on the character. Now, if you don't believe that my hands are off the keyboard, I'm clapping. You hear me clap there? Yep, that's me clapping, and basically my hands off the keyboard. Now, I didn't know this. I mean, some of you may be like, well, yo, we kind of knew this stuff. Well, yeah, you did. I didn't know this when I first came to start playing on PC, and so somebody had to pretty much, indulge me and tell me, hey, this is how it's done, because I used to see a lot of content creators from back in the day, pretty much just do it while they're streaming, and then their hands would be all away from the mouse and keyboard, and I'll be like, yo, how are they doing that? That's actually an interesting mechanic that's in the game. And that's just one of them. And then another one too is a weird camera mechanic that I'll show you. Now, here's the thing. As you're playing the game, if you're comfortable with a controller, use a controller. There's nothing wrong with that. Especially in the Division 2, the recoil and, the way the weapons work actually make things very easy. The Division 1, it's very hard to aim. I mean, you have aim assist on controller. Look how better I shot there compared to a mouse and keyboard. I mean, that time I shot the other guys on the other side, you saw how difficult it was for me to be able to beam those shots. So, yes, a controller basically works for you. In fact, you actually get a lot more if you just use your controller in the aim assist, or if you modify the aim assist settings in, using your mouse and keyboard. But I would say that you want to get comfortable with the mouse and keyboard in your shooting and, in everything that you're doing, and just learn where your key bindings are. And, it will give you some benefits in your movement and in your strategy and placement in the game. And this works both for Division 1 and Division 2. And this is your camera movement. Your camera movement speed with the mouse is just much better. You can literally snap, depending on your sensitivity, and you can pretty much just move your character in, multiple different directions, just out of, the fact that your movement speed of your mouse really does drive the way that works. So the more I move my mouse speed, and sorry if this is making you dizzy, the more I increase my mouse speed, the more I can just snap to a different direction where I'm moving. It's not necessarily, too sensitive for me right now, but you can tweak your sensitivity as much as you want. And here's something that is cool that you can actually do with it. It's your cover to cover moves and you actually looking behind you. It makes it actually pretty cool. So with the controller, if you do a cover to cover and you're trying to figure out who's behind you, your controller mouse movement, your controller camera movement speed is slightly slower because of the way the controllers are designed. So if I do a cover to cover and I want to see who's behind me, look how slow that is. Now with the mouse and the keyboard, if I was going to do a cover to cover, because my camera movement's fast, I can pretty much see who's behind me. Now that sensitivity was too much. I got to turn this down a little bit. So there we go. I can pretty much quickly look at who's behind me, and I can, basically just kind of make my way into hidden areas or whatever it is, but ensuring that if I'm running away from danger, I know exactly where to go in order for me to be able to, evade whatever the heck it is that I'm trying to run from. So something like this is actually pretty cool in terms of controls and movements and all of the others. Now, another really cool thing is your, keyboard commands and your chat features. Now, if you're in Division 1, we just basically had the open world depending on the area that you were. We also had the different regions or the dark zone, and you can chat in the open world and just type something here in Hudson Yard, and people in the area would see it if the filter is, if the Hudson Yard filter is actually turned off. So this is the filter systems. But in the Division, you could just basically type something in basically in an open space like in the White House, and people will see your message. And if you need help, somebody can come in and help you, but you need to just learn your commands as to how to do that. I think what you have to do is basically go into the chat filters and the settings and just mess around with them. The Division 2 has slightly different settings that you have to mess with, and this will pretty much help you kind of figure out what it is that you need to do in that sense. In the Division game as well, there's an invitation system. If you do /invite and then type the gamer tag of the person, you're able to invite them to your group. Or I think you can also do /join and type the gamer tag of the person, and you're able to join their group. I hope I'm not making a mistake, because I'm kind of a noob when it comes to this stuff as well. Somehow this was taught to me by people that I played with on PC. I'm just sharing them because I don't want you to go there looking like, oh my goodness, what am I gonna do? And so these are some things that you just have to pay attention to and, run with. Now, in order for you to be able to master the mouse and keyboard system, I recommend that you actually use it to level up. If you're playing the Division, whichever Division game you're playing, use it in your leveling up game. So if you have the boost and you're going from level 30 to Warlords of New York, use your mouse and keyboard exclusively for that experience. What I did on PC was I used it to level from level 1 to 30 on my PC account. And like I, basically I've said this before, I kept my controller right beside me. And whenever things, really became weird, I pulled up my controller and I just basically got out of trouble. And then I went back to, doing exactly what the heck it is I was doing. Oh, look at this Lone Star classified gear. Oh, how wonderful. This gear set. Oh, my Lord. So beautiful. Look at this. Look at that art. Look at that rate of fire, man. And look at the reload speed you get to. Just the buff just wore out. This was one of the most beautiful gear systems in the game in terms of just the way you could shoot multiple rounds and the way you could just, oh, there we go. I just came down too fast. That was kind of premature. All right. Anyways, I'm just playing this. I'm just kind of trying to enjoy myself. Get some Division gameplay in here too, because this game is actually pretty rad. Look how fast I finished all those rounds. I mean, how many rounds are in this clip, in this magazine, sorry, in this belt, in this whatever the heck it is you call it. Dang. The ROF on the Big Alejandro is insane. Ooh. Deeps. That's what we call deeps. Alright, anyways, these are some tips that I feel like you can leverage while you're playing on PC and just, kind of getting yourself used to the systems and understanding your button placements and understanding your key bindings and getting comfortable with whatever it is that, you want to use. And then finally, I recommend that you use the default key bindings and kind of get used to it first. Like, run the defaults before you go ahead and start changing key bindings, because you don't want to put yourself in a situation where, instead of just learning and getting used to movement and shooting and placement, you're all over the place just, doing all kinds of crazy stuff, which is like, oh, I want my, my recovery link to be on this button. I want my this to be on that button. No. Just focus solely on getting all of those, basic fundamentals down. And then as you, progress through the game and get down the road, it becomes second nature for you. All right, that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching the video. I appreciate you guys' time and audience. Let me hear your thoughts in the comment section for those of you who may have made this move, in the past, or for those of you who may, also have some tidbits that I may have missed out that you felt was a little important. This video was just meant to kind of just encourage anybody who may be moving, to that forefront to at least give the mouse and keyboard and learning that system a try while they're at it. All right, I'll get out of your hair. Thanks so much again. Peace out.